There we go. There we go. Welcome to another edition of Trust the Process podcast. Yours truly, Rob, the People's Plug. Joined by always the Italian Stallion. He's also known as the Reverend.
What's up,
Reverend?
How y'all doing?
He preaches scripture.
He preaches scripture.
And,
I hope that's the only thing he's preaching.
Man, and Mr. Irregular Strength himself.
What
Julius
up? What
Maddox.
up? What up?
I had to take back over on the intro. You weren't doing too good,
Rob, the first day you tried to do the intro, dog,
I didn't forget.
you sound like
It's in me.
you sound like you hit your head.
Look, it got to be in you. It can't be on you.
Like you sound, man. Last week's was fire. You sound like the first day we did it. You sound like you had a concussion.
So you sound like the dude Buffer whenever he's announcing the fight.
Welcome to 109.7, The Heat.
Hey, I was looking back on you know how your phone will give you like certain pictures from the years past or whatever. It came up today. It was a few years ago that we went down to Bowling Green
Really?
the Christian radio station. Whenever you did that interview,
Mhm.
man, think about that. That seemed like it was long ago.
Look how far we've grown from then.
Man,
We were talking about having equipment. We didn't have no equipment. We didn't have anything
man.
to start it up. So now, fast forward 3 years later, like we got a bigger, better office.
Shit.
Rob's got he's got all the gadgets,
Yeah.
multiple company trucks.
Man.
Business is doing good. Like, man, if that ain't a testament, so why is it sometimes we feel like
Man, we get lost.
it's not good
in the sauce.
enough?
We get lost.
Like we just had a conversation about 2 weeks ago about the fact that like when we're in a season, we're in the storm, we don't know we're in the storm. And it's tough until you finally come out of it. But we're basically adding up the values in our life as far as, and I'm not saying material things, but I mean, I guess it's material things. But I mean, in the past year, Rob has bought a building, 2 houses. He's got 2 trucks wrapped, all these things. But when we're in the middle of it, we don't see that like we're growing. It's almost like it's a never ending endeavor that we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But like we're in the light and we don't even realize it.
It's just like your kids. You know what I'm saying? I can see your kids not see them for a few months, right?
So hold on, say what now?
It's just like your kids growing.
Yeah,
I can not see them for a few months, and whenever I see them, I'm like, golly, they grew a foot.
yeah.
But whenever you're with them every day, it's like they're the same size because you're seeing small amounts of growth over time.
Yeah.
I think what's crazy is like it's hard to see why you're in it, right? So you've seen people like when the stock market crashed, they committed suicide.
Yeah.
Like there was people that jumped out of buildings in New York because the stock market crashed. Well, what they didn't know is in 3 years it was going to go back up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They just looked at where they was at in that moment, in that momentary day.
yeah.
And I think that's so many things. Like we don't see the value in, man, I should probably be in prison today,
Absolutely.
but my life looks a whole lot better.
That's why it's important to what do they call it when you scale out and look at the bigger picture,
That's it.
right? So a lot of people
So you got
Bird's eye view.
a 10,000 foot view, right?
That's right. But if you zoom in, man,
Yeah.
it looks bad.
That's right.
Man, so look, I had this analogy that I wanted to try to explain to y'all a few weeks ago, and God showed me this picture. Did we talk about that? The picture of the mountain, the side of the mountain?
No.
Well, on the side of the mountain, of course, it's not just straight up, right?
Yeah.
It actually is filled, with ups and downs and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
But in the midst of going up, there's some valleys on the side of that mountain that you incur.
Absolutely.
Right? So where I'm at today, based on where I was at 3 years ago, is actually a mountaintop, even though it feels like a valley.
Yeah.
Right? So compared to where we was at as to where we are at now, even though it may seem rough, even though it may seem like it's hard to get out, man, it's actually compared to a few years ago, it's actually a mountaintop moment.
And that's why, like, you always have to put it in perspective and look at it from that point of view, because there are literally people praying to have your problems, right?
Man,
Absolutely.
Like, that's what I always tell Rob when he's going through it. I'm like, well, man, I wish I could have bought an investment house by now. Like,
I know.
Like, you're actually in a great position that,
Yeah.
like, some people are striving to be in.
and is it because it comes easy, or because it happens so easily or so natural that like
Well,
you don't?
I think the enemy loves for you to have a singular focus, right?
That's it.
Oh, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. But when you take a 10,000 foot view,
That's it.
you're like,
Scale out.
man, this isn't that bad. I used to be on food stamps. I used to
Man.
not have food in my fridge. I used to not pay my car payments on time. I used to like not know how we was going to pay the rent. Like, so, but when you're in it, all these problems seem magnified, right?
Yeah.
But when they're really like good problems to have,
Absolutely.
Like every problem that you might have today is a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Like that's why like even businesses are in businesses, right? They're in business because they fix problems.
Yeah.
That's what businesses are
That's a
created
good point.
for.
Oh, that's
Absolutely.
it. Oh, that's it. This dude hit me with this the other day. He was like, yeah, you basically are the one that gets the payoff. And I was like, yeah, but don't forget, I was here to bring the solution when you had a problem.
Well, like Andy Standy,
Yeah.
he calls it the chief problem solver.
Yeah.
Like you're the head of the company because you solve the most problems in the company, right?
Yeah.
And that's hard. That puts weight on you.
That's a lot of weight.
But at the same time, it's a lot better at the top than probably at the bottom, right?
100%. It's. I mean, to go with your analogy, it's almost like any good stock. You know, we talk about stocks a lot. Any good stock is going to. I mean, it could, go up X amount percentage, but eventually it's going to retrace. So, when you take a step back and you look at the bigger picture, it's going slowly up on an incline, but there's going to be times again where it's going to drop and rise, and rise. But the bigger picture, at the end of the day, it's rising. It's rising, but slowly. That's what a good stock does,
That's what a good company does.
A good company, leader does. Absolutely. You're going to take a few steps back, but it's like once you take those few steps back, are you reevaluating your situation to see how, like, what can we do better?
Yeah.
How can we approach this job differently? What could we have done better? So go ahead.
That's what Warren Buffett says. He says, don't never buy a stock based on where it's at. Buy a stock because it's a good stock.
Yeah.
He was like, don't never buy it because it's up or down. He said, you buy it because you believe in it and it's a good stock to buy.
And that's the problem with people who, I would say, come from our background, that we have a poverty mindset. We dealt with like not having or living in lack. Whenever we take our money and we put it in, like, let's say a stock, man, we're so emotionally attached to it that we feel like, man, it's hard for you to tell me not to be attached to it, right? I see my money gone.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So it's easier, but again, that's why it's so important to have outside perspective.
That's why that's why financial advisors and people make so much money, because they don't have an emotional attachment to the decision.
That's it.
When they take your money, it's, hey, I'm just making the most educated decision for this money.
Yeah.
Your emotions are attached to it. So when you see it dip and flip.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Can you imagine making the phone call saying,
like,
hey,
my
look,
money just did a backflip. It ain't doing it.
I know in the past years I've earned you millions of dollars.
Yeah.
But on this one, I lost you millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine hearing that news?
If you made me millions, like, look, it's a part of it. I mean, that's
if he lost all the money that he's made you.
So think about even Rob's business, right?
Yeah.
Most of the times, what we want all sunshine.
Yeah.
No rain.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a taste of it.
We want all good, but like I was listening to 50 Cent's story the other day. He was like, "Do you know how much I had to go through to get to where I sold 10 million records?"
Yeah.
He got let go by Columbia.
Yeah.
He had got shot 9 times.
Yeah.
Like he had came out with 3 or 4 CDs that flopped. He was like, "Do you know how much it took for me to get rich or die trying?"
You know what I think though too. I mean, speaking for myself, is a lot of times when we meet failure and we fail, it's almost like, well, maybe this isn't meant for me.
Yeah. That's
you know what
exactly
I mean?
What we
like.
Do.
That's what keeps hitting me. Like when it comes
resistance.
To this 800 pounds. So I've faced resistance of many levels.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like the higher levels we get, as far as like in success, that whenever we face those times of resistance, it gets a little bit harder to get up the next day.
And what's crazy is
harder.
Yeah, definitely.
And harder.
Anything you're growing at, they say success and failure are twin brothers.
That's it.
Yeah.
That you're never going to have high success without high failure.
But how do you embrace failure though? Like, how do you like, you're failing at something,
you fail forward
and you embrace it, man, Nick? That's easier said than done.
So Denzel Washington, I was listening to his video.
He's got a powerful testimony.
And he said,
he's different too.
He said, "Do you know the first play that I tried out for, I got cut?" And he said, "But I failed forward. I tried out for another one. And then eventually life threw me a break."
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He was like, "But do you know how many people had gave up because they didn't get the first audition?
Yeah.
They didn't get the first promotion. They didn't get, the success that they thought was going to come.
Let's look at it this way though too.
That's why most businesses fail within 5 years.
Yeah.
Because they just think they think they're going to start this business. They're going to get in real estate. They're going to buy some cars, or they're going to open up this, and it's just going to zoom.
Yeah.
And the first few hurdles they hit, it's like, man, I ain't built for this.
Yeah, but what about? I mean, like for our instance, it's not the first few hurdles. Like I feel like we're seasoned in what we do, right? So when we're still encountering certain,
we're not seasoned.
I'm seasoned in what I do.
Scale out.
I'm seasoned in what I do.
But
based on what?
But think about that.
Based on being something that nobody in the history of the world has done.
They said, but think about it in a short amount of time.
I mean, Rob, it's been been 8 years.
I always send this to Jew and I always think about it.
Think about where you're going to be 8 years in the roofing company.
There's people, right? There's people but compared to somebody that's been doing it for 30 years.
But think about what Jew.
Yeah, I mean,
think
possibly.
about what Jew does, right? When he fails at 800.
Yeah,
he's already the record holder.
Yeah,
yeah.
But in his mind, he's a failure when he doesn't hit 800.
Yeah, 100%.
But he's the only one of one that has done what he's done.
Man, one of one.
So,
but he's, when you go through it, you get depressed. You're like, man, you feel like a failure. And the insanity is you're only competing against you.
I'm competing against myself.
It's a regular talk.
Man, it makes it extremely hard.
Who set the bar that high for you?
He did.
God. I mean, like I knew. So here's the thing. And this is what kind of me speaking for myself as we get away from is, and I'm not saying I've solely been on this, but you start to gravitate. Speaking for myself, I've gravitated to a season where I'm not saying God don't get all the credit. He always gets all the credit. But my mindset is like, I don't know, it's different. It's like almost like I'm like I have tunnel vision for myself, and I'm not incorporating God in the center of it like I always used to, because I'm so busy with life and everything else that I'm trying to make time for God. Yeah. So like it is a chore for me, and I say this, and it's, I mean, I shouldn't feel this way, but this is just a season for me. It's been a long season of it, but it is a chore for me to read the Bible or spend time with God. So like when it comes to failure as a Christian, like I'm already feel like I'm setting the bar low already. When it comes to failure, I feel like I'm failing as a Christian. Yeah, I share the gospel with people. I'm doing this, but only we know ourselves deep down inside, like where our relationship is with God. How much time we're spending, how much time we're actually spending real, authentic time. Not just picking up my Bible, reading a chapter, thinking about it for a second, and then going to bed, marking it off my checklist. Like, and this is what I envy some people, but I'm getting to a point here. Like I remember, like my boy Trip would get up at like 4:00 in the morning, like set the tone early for work, right? He's getting up at, maybe not 4:00, maybe 5:00, has to be at work at 7. But he's up reading his Bible, praising, and I'm like, why can't I get myself in condition to do that? So somebody said, Rob.
I don't know what that was. Go ahead.
So, yeah. So with that being said, is I think some of us, when we're in business or whatever seasons we're going through, we literally don't take heed to how much time we're actually putting into our business.
Yeah.
Like we don't. I think we're oblivious to seeing like a lot of these problems we're having in life, whether business or just life in general or marriage, is we're not putting in the time we should be putting in.
That's right.
We're lazy.
That's right.
But in our minds, some twisted way, we think we're doing a good job or we're putting forth effort, but we're failing at it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I think one of the biggest things that we do is that we compare ourselves to other people's highlights, right? Like, in my opinion, thousands of people would want to trade places with Julius. But when you see it, you say, man, I would like to be him, right? I'd like to have his fire. So we're constantly in the state of comparison, right? Yeah. Instead of, I think the missing link is always discipleship. Even more than, hey, I'm in church. It's who are you doing life with?
Yeah.
Who's discipling you? Who are you walking with? And are you pointing each other to Christ, right? So I think so many times we do this over-spiritualized thing, and we're always like, man, if I compare myself to a monk, I look pretty bad, right? But if I compare myself to where I once was, God has brought me pretty far. And I think when we go back to the mountain analogy, it's we're all on different phases of climbing a mountain, right?
Yeah.
And there's all these hills and valleys. The only purpose of the mountain is for you to not to turn around and go back.
Yeah.
For you to just keep climbing.
Realize you came too far to like turn. It's further for you to go back.
And guess what?
Than it is for you to finish the trip.
There will be people ahead of you and there will be people behind you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But your one goal is just to keep climbing the mountain. That's why even in marriage, right? You can start looking at all the negatives your wife does. But there will be another guy come along that says she's the greatest thing on earth,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's all perspective. And once you're in it, the marriage sometimes stales out and it seems like it sucks, right?
Yeah.
But then why will another guy
How's
come
that?
by and say, man, your husband don't appreciate the things you do. He's forgotten the things you do.
Yeah.
And I think that applies to our life.
Because there's always people out there that are looking at you saying, man, you're the greatest, right?
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Like even for Jew, right? Like think about how many people say,
people don't
Julius inspires me.
Yeah, it ain't that he ain't the greatest because he didn't hit his own record, or he didn't hit his own goal. Like they still see you as the greatest.
Yeah.
But internally, when you're in it, you're like, man, I can't get over this.
Yeah,
you know
I mean,
it's
been this battle for 800 has been like
it's
2
a battle,
years,
though.
and it seems like every time I fail, a part of me leaves. You know what I mean? Like it's that much
Maybe
harder.
That's a good thing.
It's that much harder to get back in the saddle. So it's like, I mean, where do you go from there?
I've
been convinced this whole time that God wanted me on this road, but the more I think about it, is like,
maybe it's
is it God or is it me?
So maybe it's more about the road than the final destination, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's more about the journey than the actual thing.
Yeah.
Because who are you is going to pull something out of you, right?
Yeah. He's preaching.
So at the end of the day, whether I own one house or 10 houses, that doesn't really matter. It's what journey are you walking on?
Like
Are you being faithful? Are you being obedient in the small things? Are you being faithful with today? Are you being faithful with God puts in your hands? Because that's our one and only goals, right? That's our well done, good and faithful servant.
Yeah.
It's not well done, good and faithful 800.
So where would you grade yourself on a scale of 10?
So I always say I'm a work in progress.
What would you grade yourself on a scale of 10?
So I put this in my sermon Sunday, and I always
I'm a work in progress.
No, not a work in. So
why are you?
I'm not what I could be,
yeah,
but I'm not what I used to be.
Thank God I ain't where I used to be.
So I'm always a work in progress, right? But thank God I ain't in a jail cell today.
Absolutely.
I ain't making ramen noodles for lunch.
Man, preach.
I ain't.
No blow-ups.
I ain't having to pee on a metal toilet and poop on a metal toilet and wear shower shoes in the shower.
Wait for some minutes so you can call somebody.
Man. Yeah, and me and Corey was even talking about this morning.
Make him collect calls.
I know.
That is why you always have to take a step back and take a 10,000 foot view, because drug dealers get glorified when you see the bling bling.
Yeah.
But when you take a step back and see, man, that comes with prison time.
100%.
That comes with, like they've been shot at. They've been shot. They have this going on, family problems, all this. Then it don't start to look so pretty.
That's right.
But when you're right close to it, it looks like, man, he's the man. She's the
absolutely.
man. This looks great.
Yeah, and you go ask anybody doing jail time, doing prison time. If you go back to do it all over, would you? What they say?
No, they're gonna say no.
To do it all over?
To do it, I mean, yeah. No, I've ran into people that are like, look, I love his stuff.
That are in jail?
Yeah, I love his life.
Away from their kids?
Bro, I seen Udi say that. Udi said that to me one time.
And where's he at today?
He's different.
I mean, jail, locked up.
Okay.
Man, he's different.
You know what I mean? Like some of these people, look, and it goes with this. Like I've, and I didn't mean to, put no names out there, but I'm just saying, just in general, like I've seen people get locked up and come in a cell and say, "Yep, I guess it's about time to lay it down for a 5."
It's crazy.
I'm saying, like you're basically being comfortable with giving up for 5 years.
Yeah, it's insanity.
And you're gonna sit in here and play dominoes and have wreck and not like try to. And that was different. That's what I seen. I was like, I got to be different. Yeah. That's why I'm reading my Bible. I'm going to every Bible study that gave me an opportunity to go to. So with that being said, this is my question. Like, why is it? Like, what is it inside of us that stops us from going all out like when we first did?
I'm preaching on this Sunday.
Really?
Yeah.
Redemption Place, 10:30.
Exactly
You get what I'm saying? Like, why is it?
Devotion.
I know, but
Is
how
it-
do you get back to that place? It's got to be out of look. It's got to be out of either fear or trouble.
options.
So
When the options
Like you got to
increase.
go through some tragedy, some pain. For
That's it.
because I've been trying to process this over the past year and a half since I left FOS. Like, what gets us back to like finding our first love? Like, how do you get to that point to where it's not a chore to try to where it became natural for
You
me?
know what? When options, we're spoiled
Man,
brats.
I know.
That's what we're spoiled brats.
So does that mean we need to give up everything we got to get to that? That's what.
or maybe God needs to take it away from us.
Man, that's scary.
That's what.
Think about how scary that
that's
is.
why it says the beginning of knowledge is the
The
fear of the Lord, right?
Yeah, yep.
So understanding it's having this fear of like, man, I don't want to hinder this relationship no way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So whatever I got to do, if I have to, that's why it's a constant battle, and you have to make war because everything inside of you is going to say, man, I ain't got time to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? God knows my heart. God knows where I'm at. He knows I'm going through this season.
I think one of the major problems in American church is we always want goosebumps, right? We always want feelings. We always want this spiritual high. When majority of the time it just comes down to I'm making a decision.
Yeah.
I'm making a choice to follow God. Like, so we got these shirts made and they say all in, right? All in, period. In the back, they just say, Jesus said, follow me, take up your cross, deny yourself, take up your cross and follow me.
Yeah.
That doesn't give you goosebumps and this emotional high.
Yeah.
It's literally a decision to be devoted. Just like going to the gym. How many people do you know, they start out, strong, right? There's this endorphins. They're
Dopamines.
Dopamine.
What
He just
what
man,
was
the
I saying?
release of dopamine. He said
Dopamine.
dopamines.
Dopamine.
What was that? 2 words?
Sure.
What?
But how many people are
Dopamine
but
and
how many-
endorphins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all know
Dopamine.
that's a new word.
Dopamine.
So
Man.
how many people do it when the high is gone? When no one's looking, right?
Yeah.
Like even you think about like Kobe Bryant. They said he would go to the gym at 4 a.m.
Practice before practice.
And
Yeah.
then other people would say, Kobe, why ain't you throwing me the ball? He said, I ain't see you practicing today.
Yeah.
He said, why would I throw you the ball? I don't trust your work.
Yeah, he's a regular.
Yeah, I know it is
But
a regular.
I think how you get back to being on fire is how do you keep a fire going?
Man,
You keep putting wood in there.
Yeah,
that's it.
If you ain't putting wood in the fire, how do you expect it to keep burning?
absolutely.
And one thing we all learned in Grace Marriage was we need to be more proactive than reactive.
And yeah, I think a lot of times that's what it is. So like in my case, it's like, all right, so
Have you won too much?
man, what do you mean?
Have you been winning too long?
No, I mean I took some L's though. Just because I'm the current record holder doesn't mean I'm not taking L's. You know what I mean?
But what I'm
Like,
saying is, have we gotten comfortable with living at this level so long?
yeah,
that it's
100%,
like, you know what I'm
100%.
saying? Like I ain't got to do what I once did.
yeah, 100%. I feel like I catch myself in the process of thinking like, man, I'm spoiled. Where's my grit like I did before? So, for example, you know,
Remember, you had 3 jobs
man, I was getting it. Like,
and was happy and content.
Man,
I was content with $100 in my
Selling
pocket.
fidget spinners all the time.
Man, listen, I get it, but
Man,
you
found
know,
a new, you seen a new spark in.
but
dude,
I had
man.
never. But again, just like I mean, as humans, like once the new thing fizzles out,
Man, the
Jew
new
was the
the
fidget
new
spinner
car smell.
king.
it's gone. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
Jew had fidget spinners before every gas station.
so I know, right? So I used to sell them to the gas stations. I buy bulk fidget spinners, like 100 at a time, 200 at a time.
Yeah, but would you say that was one of the things that where you started to get off at?
Yeah, I think so. That fast. Once I started earning like money in a fast and seeing that, like, hey, look,
Oh, you started
if I put time in certain things, I could earn legitimate money, legal money.
Yeah,
I think as my options increased, my willingness
that's it.
to serve the Lord and
That's
to
it.
fight for the small things and to be content in the small things ceased.
And
Yeah.
I think
Like-
that's always why God, like it says, He disciplines those He loves. Right? Like take your eyes off God too long, and I
Man.
promise you, He'll make sure you get them back on Him.
Yeah,
It's because like we always tend to, like we taught at FOS yesterday, as human nature, we tend to bend the bar. We tend to break the rule, right? If my goal, hey, 20,000 is going to make me happy. While all of a sudden I got to 20,000, I needed 40,000.
Yeah.
When I got to 40,000, I needed 80,000. When I got to 80,000, I needed 100,000.
Yeah.
It's never enough.
It was never enough, and that's why our worth has to come from Christ, right?
Alone.
Our worth
Alone.
can't
That's
come
the
from,
key.
a house, because you'll always want a bigger house.
Because we always want to sprinkle Christ into our life, right? We always want to say, well, I have everything else going on and I still have Christ.
Coffee and creamer.
Yeah, it's like, what do you mean? That's good.
Like you got coffee, and like we use analogy as we're coffee, and Jesus is creamer. He just adds flavor to our life.
Yeah.
So adding flavor there's no substance to that.
It.
You know what I mean?
That's like juice coffee that he drinks.
Man, I'm like, for real. I mean, yeah, but I'm saying it's like adding substance. So at the end of the day,
taking away from the flavor.
Yeah, he's the root of everything.
Yeah.
He's the root.
Yeah.
We should be adding to him, right? Yeah. So I mean, that's what we're supposed to be, his hands and feet. So it is literally one of my biggest obstacles is trying to get back inclined to where I was day one. I just remember like that fire, like when I woke up in the mornings, like my mind was on like mission.
Yeah.
Like I was on a mission to not only see how I can better my life and my family, but I was on mission to see how like I could further the kingdom.
Nick, you was on mission.
And,
Dog, I was on real mission.
Now, Jew was on fire. And think about this. They say that if the enemy can't make you sin, he'll make you busy, right?
That's it.
Because his main goal
why are you hitting me with this?
His main goal is to keep us distracted. His main goal is to keep us from a purpose-driven life, right?
Man,
that's it.
Like to keep us, like Jew told me this, when I first got saved.
That's it.
Our hearts are idol factories.
Yeah, man.
They produce more and more idols and things to chase.
Yeah. That
is why it's so important for us to recenter ourselves. Like, why do you think like meditation is like, even in the secular world, they say
so
meditate.
Important, yeah.
Because it recenters you.
That's it.
It refocuses you. It realigns you to what's supposed to be most important.
Yeah.
That's why every day we have to have this knees first mentality. And am I pursuing Christ? Am I not? Am I all in or am I not? Am I on the fence or am I not? And you always taught me this. There's no gray areas.
Yeah, man.
It's a right or wrong. It's a yes or no. There is no Bob Cinnamon. What's he call it? A mug rump, right?
Yeah.
You're sitting on the fence. You're just idle.
Yeah.
And here's what I heard in the sermon: the devil owns the fence.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like
he don't own the ground on the other side. He owns the fence.
And just think, how do you get closer back to your spouse?
Yeah.
If you're further away.
Time. Yeah. Dedication.
Yeah. You take steps.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen back overnight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for facts.
You stop going the other way.
Hey,
you
Nick
say,
knows about it. It starts
I'm
with
taking steps towards you.
Yeah. It starts with saying, look, if I got to cut the grass with these pair of scissors,
I'm gonna cut the grass.
Hey, it really is a change and a shift in how you view it. And it's, I don't have to go to church. I get to go to church, right?
Man, I
don't have to read my Bible. I get to.
Yeah.
Do you know 40, and this is what I'm preaching on because I know 40 out of 66 books in the Bible you can read in less than an hour?
40 out of the 66 books in the Bible you can read in less than an hour.
Yeah. Yes.
Like if you read them singly?
Yes. Yeah. Ephesians takes 20 minutes to read. You can read 1 John, 2 John, and 3 John in 20 minutes. You can read the book of James in 16 minutes.
Yeah.
If you read the Bible every day for 12 minutes, you would read the Bible in a year.
Man, something different.
Wow.
If you read the Bible
we need to create a 12-minute app.
They have it. If you read the Bible
they do?
Yeah, if you read the Bible for 6 minutes a day, you will read the whole New Testament in 6 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
John Piper says one of the greatest evidences of social media will be on the last day.
Show you.
You won't say that you didn't have time to pray or time to be in your Bible.
Oh, because it's accessible right here. Right
yeah.
Right.
Now.
Yeah. Screen time.
God shows me every Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like it when
I know, right? When we get our
you won't just push that up. You don't even open
You know, one thing that I've learned.
I should say that got to be wrong.
Busyness comes in many different forms. I used to be busy on social media doing all that stuff. And over the past 2 weeks, working with Rob and doing a few other things I got, like I'm busy in other ways. I'm not even on my phone.
And there's a difference between being busy and being productive.
Yeah, being productive.
Right?
I've been productive.
Two different things.
What's the quote about
look,
the
my
ants,
screen
Rob?
time. My screen time was like an average of like 4 hours last week.
Yeah.
The ants are
4
busy.
hours compared to 8.
Yeah. The ants are busy.
And look, I know, right? And TikTok, all these apps that I'm on, they'll make sure they remind you to like
Oh,
Like
yeah,
you
they
need to
pull
check
you
in.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Snapchat, for example. Think about how crazy this. Snapchat has an account, right?
Since you haven't been on there.
That you haven't been on here.
Yeah, we missed you.
Yeah, basically your snap count.
Yeah.
Your streak, like when you have a streak or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's almost like in your mind, it's programmed to like, hey, look, I gotta make sure I'm snapping today to keep my streak going.
Man, look, the kids don't even. I seen it. The kids got like 50 streaks. All they do is take a picture of what's in front of them, and that's it. I'm like, what are you doing?
My daughter broke her iPad, and she broke her iPod, right?
She started.
And she
twitching.
said, yes. Then she said, listen,
no phone.
She said, Daddy, I need your phone. I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, I need your phone. Please, please let me see your phone. I'm like, I'm not going to give you my phone until you tell me what, like, why are you acting so, like, spastic over it?
Yeah.
She said, I need to check into Roblox. I said, bro, like, if you had that urgency to clean your room or to follow up on the small details that I told you.
Man, what if we had that energy?
That's what, then I catch myself thinking about it. Like, if I had the zeal like she did to attack some of these encounters that I have, like, no telling where we would be at today.
Think about this. What is, and to you, we're all fathers in here. What is the most precious time that you've ever experienced with your child?
On the beach.
Why?
Well, I think the first time on the beach watching my kids play in the sand and the water is something I didn't get to do as a kid. So it erased
slow motion.
Oh, I seen it. It brings tears to my eyes now thinking about it.
Yeah.
It erased all the childhood hate that I had because I never got to do that with my family. I remember. Look, I don't know if y'all remember this. I remember one day we was playing basketball at y'all's house. Was playing in the backyard. Y'all just got that green van.
Yeah.
And y'all was like, look, we're about to take this van to Florida.
Yeah.
And I'm like, y'all going on a family trip to Florida? Y'all was like, yeah, but we ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah.
Just be on the beach. But I remember thinking, like, man, I wish I could take my family to the beach.
You see how it's all perspective?
Yeah. I was like, I wish I could be with my family on the beach.
Yeah.
Because guess what? We looked at people. We don't never get to.
We're gonna eat bologna sandwiches. Look. I remember y'all basically complaining about it
because that's literally all we did.
And I'm like, bro, y'all are going on a family vacation with your family. Like, I'm in the projects. We don't do stuff.
Yeah.
I can't recall any time we've ever left the city of Owensboro together.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
so that was your most intimate moment. You seen your kids playing on the beach.
Yeah, when I see my kids playing on the beach.
Look, you don't even worry about nothing else when you're on the beach.
Dog. Right? So when Heaven's like, well, why do you want to go to that beach? Well, because that memory is tied to.
That's right.
Something that's like helped me heal from my childhood childhood trauma, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying like I was beaten, like I'm saying, but like mentally I was damaged, right? Yeah. So therefore, like when we go on vacation, I don't want to go nowhere else. I want to go to the beach because that memory and that feeling I keep, I get to relive.
You want to relive it, yeah.
I want to
so that's the most intimate time for you that you've ever experienced with your kids.
100%.
I got you, Nick. What's yours?
Yeah, probably the same thing as the beach. Well, I just like watching my kids, right? Like even at the spray park the other day, like that's one of my favorite. Just to watch them play, just to watch them enjoy life, like just to watch them even play together, like splash each other. Is one of my favorite things. Just to see them enjoying themselves.
Yeah. So that's the most. So what happens in those moments?
So I'm gonna tell you what happens in those moments, right? That first vacation was in 2014. We got a tax check back for about $10,000. Right, so that allowed us to be able to go on this vacation.
Yeah.
2014, after that vacation, I turned up. I turned up. When I say I turned, it did something to me.
Yeah.
I said we're doing this every year.
Yeah.
And there's been, over the past few years, like we don't get tax money back.
Right.
So I pay out of pocket. So every time, like I'm like, look, we're turning up. I'm turning up.
Yeah,
we're going
because it's worth it. It really hit the.
You're probably talking about almost $15,000.
I seen Juice kids; they all had the outfit on.
They had them wands, Nick. I know how much them wands,
bro. We stopped in Harry Potter, and I looked at the tag. I looked at the tag, and before, like, heaven is because I'm the grumpy guy, right? I'm like, look, we can't be spending all this extra money, like, on unnecessary things. So on this trip, I'm like, look, we're gonna have a good time. I ain't gonna complain. And she's like, yeah, right. She's already
going all out.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, right.
She took it to the next level.
I know. She didn't take it. I'm saying, I was saying we're going all out, but
Nick.
she's like, I don't believe you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nick, he should have checked with me before he went down there to see. Asked about, look, how the prices down there. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
Before
I
he
knew
said
I was
that.
going to spend the bag. I took roughly probably around $17,000 with us, right? So, and it's dwindling down, right? So we get into Harry Potter, and I'm like, all right, I'm already convinced. I'm like, look, I know they're gonna want something out of here. Whatever they want, each one of them want, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah,
Dog, they went to the most expensive thing in there.
Nick.
Look, they thought they was at
wands.
Hogwarts.
Hey, you know how
Yeah,
you be
they
trying
got
to.
wands, Nick, that they really think to do magic stuff
Hey,
with
you
these
be
Rob,
wands.
you missed
How much is one wand?
You missed the picture, bro.
What?
They got the Harry Potter cloak.
I seen it.
All of them.
It's just a blank vampire cloak.
Look,
Hey, Drew.
look, you know how like when you see something, your body gets hot. When you see something you don't like, dog, I seen all them 1000s on the register. I
Hey.
said, "Is that the total?"
Hey,
Yeah.
as Christopher be getting when we go through Walmart, he'll pick up like the big monster truck. It'd be like
Yeah.
100. I be trying to reconvince him. I be like, "You see this one? It got 3 in it." It'd be
Yeah.
like $9.99. Don't do that.
You're like, no, I
He'd be
want.
like, "Oh, the big one."
Yeah,
But here, like Rob told me this, like, man, you got to enjoy these moments with your family.
Man.
And me and Nick's talked about it.
It's
What's
like, what do
wrong
you
with
do it
spending a
for?
few thousand extra dollars for these memories? Because I mean, at the end of the day, anybody laying on their deathbed that's had some bit of wealth, they're not gonna say like, "Oh, I wish I would have saved more money.
That's it.
I wish I would have put X amount into stocks or investments." No,
that's it.
they're gonna say, "I wish I had more time with my
Yeah.
family, and I wish I would have spent more of my money on things that were meaningful,
Meaningful, yeah,
like
making
vacations,
memories. Yeah,
instead of XYZ." You know, so like man, so therefore it makes it a little easier. My wife knows when I get in these mindsets, she's like,
it's time.
"We better get it
Hey,
while
it's
he's
time.
in the
Hey,
while he's in the
kids.
spending."
Why he's in the spirit?
She said it the other day. She's like, "Look, while we're doing all this spending, like I'm getting,
Yeah,
like I'm gonna get it done right."
Oh, she knows the
You
vibe.
know what I mean? So like when we're picking out flooring, I'm like, okay, this is waterproof flooring. This is good flooring. But this ain't the color she wants.
Yeah,
But the difference between the color that she wants is like a difference like $1.50.
yeah. So that's like an extra $800,000. Yeah,
I'm like, no, I'm like, so you sure you don't like this color? She's
Yeah.
like, no, that color's out of.
this color would go
That
good with
color-
her cow.
Look, that's what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah.
trying to convince her, like Nick's trying to convince. But instead of me complaining about it,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah, my bad.
you talk about me, Rob,
Oh yeah.
right?
I was just getting a text through about the get up challenge tonight.
Yeah, we gonna
What's
talk
the get-up
about that.
challenge?
We'll talk
Y'all
about
ain't
it.
going?
Don't
Nick,
get the
we'll talk- you just messed up
the
Juice.
cowboy
man.
boots and the.
Drew, you ain't going
Ju-
tonight?
so heaven knows.
You know, I
Nick.
lose train of thought.
Look, so
He's
heaven
going to
knows.
Friday after
Look, so
five.
heaven knows that when Juice in the spirit, look, you better get in while the getting's good.
Hey, you better
I
get in
agree.
while the getting's
And
good.
here's what it is. So I want to bring it full
Jonna
circle.
does the same thing. I'm like, good Lord, you took that to the next mile.
So I want to bring it full circle, right? So that's
Yeah.
why I asked you, what was the most intimate moment for you as a father that you remember with your kids? In those moments, if you walk away, what happens?
If you walk away from it
Yeah,
all,
yeah. No. If you just walk away and your kids can't see you, because most of the time when you're in those moments, your kids, they just want you sitting there watching them, right? You
yeah,
ain't got to say nothing to them. You just sit back and just enjoying your kids being kids.
That's what I
Yeah.
love.
Yeah. So look, I would say that my most intimate moment, I remember this, is when my kids were probably from the age of, from a baby all the way up to maybe 6, right?
yeah,
After that, and the reason why I say that is because I loved my kids reaching up and just want me to pick them up,
yeah,
right? And just that moment of just they wanted just to be with me, right?
Yeah.
And they fully depended upon me for everything.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? They didn't have options.
yeah.
They didn't have they didn't have their own opinions that I want this way.
Yeah.
Nah, they just wanted just to be with me.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
see what I'm saying? So think about how much more our Father, right?
Yeah,
That is where He wants us at, right?
Yeah.
Fully dependent upon Him. But what happens is just like kids when they get older and they got options, they get vehicles, they get relationships. Now it's I don't have to. I ain't got time to spend time with you, Dad.
Rob don't like that.
yeah. Oh no! Look. The lady said, I was watching a TikTok, and she's like, "I want to tell you guys something." It's an older lady that just gives little nuggets, and she's like,
It ain't that Mama T, is it?
"Oh,
Or
she's
whatever her name
no,
is.
not the one that cusses people out.
Oh, man.
She's funny though." But this lady was just talking about how, like in certain seasons of her life, like about her complaining due to whatever situations they was in. But she was like the "can't wait" phrase. Like I can't wait until my
That's
kids,
it.
get out of diapers, or I can't wait
Yeah.
until my kids graduate high school, or until they, until summertime and they're out of school and I ain't got to wake them up, or
Yeah.
whatever the case is. And she's like, I'm at that age to where I've ran out of those I can't waits.
Man.
And she said, and it's lonely.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
So the point is she was saying like, take a different perspective on the I can't wait. She said, enjoy the moments, enjoy the time, no matter what you're going through. Like embrace those moments and find the joy wherever you can in what you're doing. And it just hit me because, like, how many times I'm guilty of saying, like, man, I can't wait till these kids hurry up and get up out of this house.
Yeah.
And it's like, why ain't I enjoying the time with my kids in that moment?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
When they get out of the house, you're gonna be like, man.
Like I wish.
Not even that. They could still be in the house. Wait till they get a car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nick, you got a couple more years. I would say enjoy it every single day. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
she wants to be with you.
by the rate of everything going on right now, Rob, I just think that, I'll be able to shut my daughter's car off with the push of a button.
On your phone?
You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah,
it's just family time.
So look, so just
I'm just kidding though,
just
but
to be
seriously,
able to relate that, right?
Yeah.
But just like kids grow, like for some reason, after a year or so of being on fire, man, we slowly lose it because we get options, right? We get our families back. We get businesses. We get bank accounts. We get stuff established, and now it's less and less time with daddy.
Listen.
Well, think about even what we do with our wives, right? Like when we're in bad seasons, man, the flyers show up. I seen Rob got flyers today for his wife. But the flyers show up, date nights.
It ain't a bad season. I get my wife flowers every week.
Nah, I love it. Nah, I wasn't saying it's a bad season. I was just thinking that was cool.
I mean, you just related the two together.
No, I wasn't. The two wasn't together.
Yeah, Rob's been doing this consistently for some years now, right?
Think about it. I heard this.
Look, Rob's offended, Nick. You need to apologize.
He does a good job. He gets flyers
I'm a
every
florist.
week. But think about what we do when you counsel people and they're going through marriage problems. They'll do anything.
Oh yeah.
They'll clear their schedule.
Yeah.
They'll enjoy their wife, the time they get to spend.
Hold on, let me add to that real quick, Nick.
They'll take them to the movies as soon as they get them back.
Whenever Nick was going through it with his wife, I'll do anything for my wife.
He said he would cut the grass with scissors.
100%. Look, Nick said he was at every Bible study he could ever be at.
Yeah.
And he said when his wife would come home, he would be waiting on the porch for her, like he was, like he was serious about it.
Yeah.
And I remember he said one day, like she punched him and knocked him off the steps.
Hey, I came home on fire with the Holy Ghost. Look, this is when I used to call Jew going crazy because I would go to church and feel like God spoke to me like, your marriage, man, is gonna get fixed. Keep on keeping on. And I go home like, man, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's going to work out.
John was like,
one time I came home, she was sneaky sitting on the back porch. I was like, hey, babe. She didn't even say nothing. She just popped up.
Boom.
She hit me right in my chin.
Look, she was thinking about it too. She was thinking about well, look, when he gets home, I mean, I'm going.
Look, you know what was embarrassing? What she said to me?
What?
Get up.
You're lying. She said, "Get up,"
get up.
like a dude. Yeah. Did she flex too? Like, get up.
She knows I won't ever hit her, right?
Yeah.
So she's like, "Get up." And it was one of those frustrating times because I'm doing everything in my power to get my.
So how did you handle that situation?
Man, I just had to. I think I probably called you and went off. And because I used to call Jew and go, I used to call Jew and go crazy and be like, "This ain't working," and he would be like, "Just keep on."
Yeah, you just gotta.
It literally went from me just trying to get my wife back to me valuing my wife and me appreciating just how good she was.
No, check this though.
If she would have just took me back in week 1, I would have just went right back to what I used to always do.
I think you had a different perspective again on your wife. It changed your whole perspective.
I always tell people I never forgot the pain. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. She's a gift. Like, and it's just like that gift. I don't care what it is, whatever your most favorite thing is. When you lose it, like you want it, like you'll do whatever it takes to get that gift back. And everything, a lot of things, the way we view things like changes, and we appreciate it much more. And that's what it. So think about that those incidents or that season changed the trajectory of your future with your wife.
I tell people all the time, like, look, my wife don't want me out till 10, and it's fine. I love my wife, so whatever she wants to do, whatever she, has dreams on, I will invest on her because I was that close to losing her.
Yeah.
And I think like one of the biggest things that frustrates me as we counsel different men is like, how are you so passionate now? But as soon as you get her back,
It stops.
it stops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is your greatest gift on earth.
Options, man. When you start to see those options again.
That's it.
Joe said it like no other. Like I remember him telling me that. I mean, this is in a recovery world they use that a lot. But as your options increase, your willingness decreases.
Man.
Because outside of my relationship with God, John is next, right?
Yeah.
And here's what I always tell people. Sometimes it's an inconvenience when she calls me in my mind, right? Like, oh, she wants me to go to the store. But literally, if something happened to her, I would clear anything else.
Yeah.
And nothing else would matter.
Yeah.
She's literally the best thing that ever happened to me. Why would I not treat her like gold?
That's it.
That's the difference in like perspective. Like, why wouldn't I wash the dishes? Why wouldn't I do the laundry? Why wouldn't I spoil her?
I know that's right.
And we're just bragging on us as men. Like I think that's what we're called to do. Like we're called to go above and beyond.
Yeah.
The other day, look, check this. The other day, Heaven's like, look, she's at home. She's not feeling good. She's like, can you pick me up some? Her favorite thing is like wedges from Lee's or whatever. So I go get her some. I go get not only her but the kids some food too. So once y'all know how far I live out. So from Lee's all the way to my house, I get there. There ain't no wedges.
Oh, you ain't check it?
You had to go back, didn't you?
No, I didn't check it. I mean, there was boxes in there. I'm like, how can you mess
Sometimes
up
it's hard to check.
wedges and
It ain't hard to check.
Johnny gets mad at me.
How can you?
It ain't hard to check. I can't stand that.
Listen,
Johnny will check right there at the window.
I looked in the box and there was wedges in there. They didn't put the other box of wedges. There was 2 orders of wedges.
Yeah.
So they didn't put the other box of wedges, but there was 3 boxes in there. So usually I thought they put the biscuits, shove them in there with the actual plate. Or whatever.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, they left the wedges out. So
The
I
second
drive
order
home.
out.
The second order out. So I drive home. She's like, "Where's mine at?" And I'm like, "Cause I got the kids some too." And I'm like, well, "This should be in the box." And she's like, "No, it's not in there." So I have to turn around, drive all the way. And listen, this is an hour and 15 minutes. Nah, man, like that's what my wife wants. Like,
yeah,
I'm saying the wife gets the wedges. The kids, you got to make you something to eat.
But I value my kids the same way. Like, if that's what they wanted.
But literally, like
that's what they got. But listen,
did it cost you anything?
No, that's what I was gonna say. I didn't complain about it.
Yeah.
I didnn't used to. I would have. I would have been mad.
Like, oh, you gonna eat something else?
Yeah, like y'all figure it out.
Jew knows. Look, if you don't figure it out, Jew,
it's gonna cause more problems.
Now it's gonna cost you more money. I got DoorDash now.
Oh yeah,
look, you gonna
DoorDash
see
is different.
But think about even that
it's
analogy.
It's gonna cost you one way or the other.
It's gonna cost.
Think
me
about
for
that analogy. Like some guys will literally just out of the principle, they'll go sit down. And they ain't even doing nothing, but they won't go get their wife wedges again.
Or they'll tell them, go get them yourself.
Yeah, or go get them. Hey, I tried. They didn't get them.
Yeah.
Go get them yourself.
Make do.
Man,
make do.
That's what I told Amy the other day. I said, do you realize how happy it makes
you drop
me to
nuggets
take
on
care
this
of you?
one.
No, no.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it brings me, and I'm always asking her, is there anything that you want or need? You know what I'm saying? And then I try to find the things that she likes, just small things, right?
Yeah.
Like she likes a certain type of ice cream. You know what I mean? And I want to make sure that if at any given time, if she wants it, she got it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And this ice cream is
expensive. So where did this come from? I mean, I think all this resorts from
like
failure or almost losing our wife.
Oh yeah, almost. And I'm telling you, that's why I just went through something not long ago, bro.
Yeah.
I had worked hard to gain my wife's trust.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I remember the days that I had to make conscious decisions to be like, man, I'm going to love her.
Yeah.
Even through how I feel, you know, oh, she ain't this and she ain't that. Man, I remember she stuck by my side. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It like, even if we didn't have anything, she was there.
That's why I think it's always, so it all goes back to take 10,000 steps back.
Yeah.
And view it from my perspective, because your wife, my wife's the one person on earth that I think if I went and got paralyzed today, she would never.
Oh yeah,
she wouldn't leave me,
and that's what matters.
My wife's my best friend.
My wife would take care of me joyfully if I lived till 80 like that, paralyzed for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
I know my wife wouldn't leave me.
That's right.
Yeah, like I seen a guy that somebody that you probably associate with, a guy posted on Facebook the other day, and this can be taken in a out of context, but he's like saying like, really, I don't need nobody else besides my wife and my family. Meaning, like, if you're not adding value to my life, like I'm not gonna lose sleep.
Yeah.
If you ain't in my life.
Yeah.
Now, given as Christian, he's a Christian, but as a Christian, yeah, we're supposed to lay down our lives for our brothers. but also too, you got to find that balance. And to me, like I'm looked at that like at the end of the day, as long as I have God and my wife, and I can do what I need to do as far as my Christian duties. Like I don't need to be out here searching for new friends or new people or this and that.
No,
you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying don't take that out of context.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like now my priorities change when I needed my friends to add value to my life. I don't need that no more. I don't need other men to validate who I am as a man.
That's it.
Only person I'm concerned about is how God sees me, views me, and my wife views me. That's it.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's exactly right. It's your value system, right?
Yeah.
What is of most importance to you? That is what you'll make time for. That's why when we go back to being devoted, when we go back to putting the wood back on the fire, are we doing that with God?
Yeah.
Are we doing that with our wives? Are we doing that with our kids? And if not, it will eventually crumble, right?
Yeah.
It will eventually start to fade away, it'll start to drift. And I always have to, I always get convicted because I'll do a few nice things for my wife in 1 week. And she'll say, what program are you following? And it won't even be nothing magical I'm doing.
What program are you following?
Yeah, because he follows the 21 days of.
I always do the 40-day love there.
Yeah.
And it ain't nothing magical or hard that I'm doing. It's just that I'm being intentional.
All right, so what's the difference between you doing that or following a workout program?
Nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's not a bad thing that you're using a guide.
No, it's not a bad thing, but it always convicts me.
Oh, okay.
It convicts me in, why isn't this the norm?
That's it.
Yeah.
Why did my wife know? Because I just checked on her throughout the day.
Give yourself some grace.
That I'm doing a program. I'm like, why shouldn't just this be the normal though?
But that goes along the lines where we a lot of times I feel like I'm failing as a husband or as a son of God. Like I feel like I'm failing, but when you take a step back, we're making progression. We're not perfect. Listen, I know we talk about our wives and how we treat our wives. Yeah, we treat them great, but listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not all.
Nah, we've been through seasons.
What are the flowers called? Daffodils and
lilies
and daffodils.
I tell people all the time, the divorce papers was done and sealed.
Oh yeah, it was ready. Yeah, so we bicker, we go back and forth sometimes, but I mean, at the end of the day, I wouldn't choose any other female other than my wife.
Man,
you know what I mean? Because look at all the time we've invested. You know, I don't she was like, y'all, you'd move on if we if we broke up, and I'm like, I'm sure in some capacity, but I ain't doing. Unless God moved, I ain't doing this over again.
And the enemy's real good at if he tries to paint a different wife, right? If you just had a different wife, you would be happy.
The grass.
I know what that brings.
The grass is greener, right?
Greener.
Oh, if you just had a wife that did this, then you would be awesome. If you had a
those
wife
wives that do that, there comes a whole other set of flaws and things that you don't see.
Here's how I always tell people: look, ain't no woman gonna love me like my wife loved me when I was at my lowest.
100%.
So the grass ain't never gonna be greener, right?
Yeah.
The grass is greener where we water it. The grass is greener where we take care of it.
I remember I told my wife whenever I was locked up, and I'm in it. I'm like, look, when I get a job, I'll marry you. And she looked at me like I was crazy because she's never heard those words before.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I seen the value in my wife a long time ago, long before we had, all these things, or I started to see her change, so he can't help it.
Man, he starts twitching if he ain't got his phone.
At the end of the day, man, guys and women, this is a big thing.
Yeah, for women too.
Let's go to women. Value your husband. If your husband is doing these things,
grown man,
he makes a mistake, give him some grace. Give him a break. If he's paying your bills and he's not just paying your bills, but he's growing your kids and he's growing you. And sometimes those things
chasing after God, right?
Absolutely, that's the main thing. If he's chasing after God,
man, give him some grown man gifts.
Man, give him some girl man gifts.
Grown man.
I thought you said give him some gifts. Today, show your husband you appreciate him. Yeah. Whoever hears this, and if you have a husband, show your husband you appreciate him.
Show him you.
I hope my wife is watching
on every level.
On every level.
Yeah.
Financially, sexually, mentally, all of them. Physically, all of them.
Metaphysically.
Whatever that means.
That means all the above.
Especially physically.
Especially sexually.
Physically.
Sexually. Physical touch. That's that love language,
man.
So,
guys, it's been a great podcast.
Hey, look, because here's real quick. Here's what it is. Man, guys love to be, and I understand this. We are all about respect. We know respect internally. That's what we do.
Yeah,
Last
But
thing.
we love to be loved. I'm saying,
Absolutely.
like we want to be shown affection.
Go up and give your
Me and
husband
my
a
wife,
kiss.
we
A
inviting
greeting.
everybody to the challenge of the Get Up. We're gonna be at Friday after 5 tonight. Jonna's gonna be doing the Get Up challenge.
The Reverend and the First Lady.
Yeah, we gonna. She's dreading it.
Yeah,
She's like, I ain't gonna be doing it, Nick. I said, yeah, you are.
Rob was like, look, you can learn it in a night. I'm like,
yeah, you can learn it.
All
real
it is,
quick.
Joe, is like the cha-cha. To the
You
left,
kind
to
of
the
look like
left,
Blanco Brown.
to the right, to the right.
no, it ain't. You gotta
And
have,
take
you gotta
your
be
left
confident.
hand.
People gonna be. Are you gonna be
Put
doing
it
it?
on your side.
I'm not doing it. I will watch.
All right, we're gonna be. My only thing
Rob,
is,
why you beating on the table?
my only thing is gonna be drunk
You know-
people doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
They gonna be down there drunk.
I probably ain't, I can't go. I mean, I can, but I ain't gonna go.
Yeah.
You ain't going?
Why ain't you going?
My wife has got puppies,
Oh yeah.
so like if I go down there and have fun,
Man, that's one of the memories.
Nah, he's gotta stay home with his wife.
You can't get
No.
a puppy babysitter.
I ain't. No, they're too young.
They don't make him.
They're just
Man,
yeah,
that's
they do, but
It's a different
Listen.
life, ain't it? We have
So y'all,
puppies.
y'all ain't going on that. Y'all can't come out with us tonight.
no, we can't.
We're gonna be there Friday after 5
I
tonight.
listen. I told you yesterday that I didn't think about it, but I really want to go. But listen, I can't have fun doing stuff like this without my wife.
Hey, Owensboro's, I gotta give it up to Owensboro on Friday after 5. They've been stepping it up.
Yeah, I can't.
It's a good
I'm just saying,
time.
I can't have fun knowing my wife's at home miserable.
Yeah, I wouldn't go. I
You
don't
know what I
think it's
mean?
good to
Like,
go
I can't-
without her, yeah.
I can't go. What do I look like coming back saying, look, we was dancing. John was like, we had a ball.
TikTok
And she's sitting there like falling asleep, like thinking like, you know what I mean? I can't do it. I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be getting no gift.
Yeah,
I'll sit-
but
I'll sit at
whoever
home and we'll watch movies and we'll hang out.
Yeah,
I'll get
bring
some.
your
we'll
wife
go
down
live.
there,
We'll go live for you.
Yeah.
bring your spouses down there. If you're single, just come on down there Friday after 5. It's gonna be a good
I
time.
take my wife to exotic places. We don't just go to
Friday after 5 been stepping it up. They've been having a concert every week.
I know.
You're a regular.
Man, we're regular. No, for real. On the end on this note, like, look, on my bucket list, I want to take my wife to
We need to have
Greece.
Jewel booth down there.
To where?
I need to take my wife to Greece.
Yeah,
Some of the most beautiful.
Yeah, I would love to go there.
So, 2 places: Greece, and I want to go to Israel.
yeah,
I'm trying to swim in. I'm trying to swim in the water that they're talking.
I'm trying to go to
everybody talking
Wakanda.
I'm trying to take. I'm trying to
about.
take.
Yeah, he said, I'm trying to go to Wakanda.
I'm trying to take Martin down to Miami Beach.
Man, look, it's different down there.
Look, I'm telling you, you love different down there. Don't
No,
you?
the food is different.
Man, everything is different.
There's so much food down there, dog. I'm telling you, it is. Miami has probably one of the most diverse between Miami and California, as far as like good foods, because it's like a melting pot. There's people from
Yeah.
different cultures, so like
Yeah.
you have all these different cultures of food. Man, I'm telling you, Miami is it, bro. You ever had beans and brown rice? I mean, black beans and rice.
We grew up on that.
No, not like.
Nah, Lewis might have cooked.
I'm talking about like Cuban style beans, rice, and chicken.
Hey, all I remember Lewis cooking was
salmon patties.
salmon patties.
Salmon
sweet
patties
rice.
still hit today.
Oh
Sweet
yeah, they
rice
do.
still hits
Look, hey,
today.
look. Tell me how many wives out there making salmon patties today?
Hey, this is
My
how
wife, she still
Does
makes
she?
yeah.
Man.
Lewis
Look,
used to make
salmon patties, fried potatoes,
fire.
baked
sweet
beans.
rice.
We don't do sweet rice with the salmon patties.
You
bro.
don't? Oh,
No.
that was the thing. Hey, looking in the cornbread that looked like a pancake.
I'll never forget.
See, I didn't do those. I never really liked that type of cornbread.
When we moved in with Lewis, he made a bowl of raviolis,
Oh man.
sliced up oranges, and put them around it, and had the crackers going around the other half.
That's
Like,
old school.
Hey, he was different. Look,
I
we
bet
had
y'all
to-
ate it, didn't y'all?
Look,
Man,
I was like, look, he's different.
Yeah.
I was like, Nick, what is this?
Man, look, I know one thing. Is
Hey,
you
you
know
had
how
the-
most people throw you the orange,
y'all had dinner every night.
Look, he had crackers, bro.
and they was
top
on
of
there
each other,
like
perfect.
it was John DeClue.
Hey, look, he had, was it Gordon Ramsay? He
Yeah,
it might not have been the best food, but he made do with it.
Hey,
Y'all,
he did.
y'all had y'all's bellies full. Look, I remember
he cooked chili.
coming to y'all's house.
No.
like he would look almost every night. He's cooking a full course meal.
Oh, he did. He cooked every night.
Yeah, my dad. So toward the end, my dad did. My dad cooked just about every single day. Toward the end of like my high school career.
What about
Yeah.
that 5-layer macaroni they cooked?
Hey, look, the best meal today, hands down, is my mom's macaroni and cheese, sweet potatoes, potato salad, deviled eggs, and some ham. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, dog. I think we might make it to this weekend.
Last thing on perspective. So think about this. Why does your mom take care of her furniture?
Because look, she's had the same couch.
Man,
She's not anymore, but she had this couch for like 10 years.
Because she knew what it was like not to
Yeah.
be able to get one, right?
And if you seen it, you would have thought like, Hey, this thing's
It's
brand
still
new.
brand new. Yeah,
Ain't no sitting on it.
Nick, that we never sit in their living room, did we?
Yeah, we did. We
Nick,
just didn't have a TV in
Nick,
there.
did we?
Yeah, there wasn't no TV in
Nick,
there.
we
We did.
never-
We sit in there and post it up.
We did
Nick,
sometimes.
them cushions were still tall.
Hey,
Nick, that wasn't a sittable couch.
It is,
You knew
yeah,
it.
well, that couch was comfortable.
It wasn't sittable.
hey, when I got out of
People don't sit there.
Listen,
I
my
got
mom
out of jail and we all lived in their house, I was like, man, this living room is exotic now.
Oh, when we moved
They
to
had, they had the
She had
plans.
all the new stuff. Like,
yeah, man. She had a different perspective on life.
Man,
Look, it just
she
goes
was
to
a
show
regular.
you. We can. But it goes to show
Jew
you.
was
With,
staying back in the building in the back.
oh yeah, when you got certain things in
He
life,
loved it.
when you got, I had it set up. I had couches, bed. When you have when you find a purpose in life
That's it.
that you've
Oh,
always
yeah.
been searching for, and you get it, and that's what I try to explain to you guys. Is you just got to search for your purpose. You got to find that purpose. But a man is dangerous in a good way
Mm-hmm.
when he finds his purpose
Yeah.
in God.
That's
Look,
right.
Nick
Like when he
picking up
finds
that
the
phone again.
purpose.
Oh, I gotta go in a minute.
All right, so guys, thanks for tuning in. Anybody got any nuggets?
Man, we had a good
We
podcast.
We tried to do a whole podcast without people being on their phones.
Me and Rob succeeded.
Nick's picked it up 5 times.
Man,
Nick, you
I
owe
had to check
coffee
the
next
time.
week.
I had
He's
to check the
twitching.
time.
You owe coffee
You know what
next
I'm saying?
week.
Yeah,
I had to check the
Pray us
time.
out real quick, Drew.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for allowing us to share our situations and circumstances that we go through from a godly perspective, Father God. We thank you for giving that to us, Lord. We just ask that this platform reaches many people that we never thought we'd reach before, Lord. And we just thank you for the platform that you've given us, Lord. I pray that you continue to guide us and show us how to be men of God and help us to embrace our failures and look to you and not anything else when we're going through that season, Father God. So again, Lord, we just love you. We need you and we thank you in all things. In your sons, let me pray, amen.
Yeah, remember, Fall Forward tonight, Friday after 5.
Man, are you getting paid by them?
Blanco Brown, we're gonna be doing the get up.
Are
The
you
first
getting
lady,
paid?
the first lady and the Reverend.
I couldn't think of his name.
I'll be taking the videos. We'll see you guys next week.
I didn't know if his name was
Peace.
Blinko